Woo! Welcome, boxing fans around the world, to another episode of Knuckle Up on Talkin Fight, featuring both Cedric Ben and Mike Orr at 4. And we have a special guest, as promised, lined up. He's in the studio. He's waiting. We've been talking about this guy for months and months and months and months. And I'm glad he's finally arrived. He's down. Where is he right now? Is he in California right now?
He's in Las Vegas right now training.
Las Vegas.
Wow. Just I guess on a break outside the gym, going to talk to us. It's great. I can't wait to get him in here. Yes, we have been trying to get him on for months, so finally got a hold of him. And yeah, he's here, man. And that's the Canadian, the crippler.
Yes,
Cody Crowley.
yes.
Cody Crowley, the crippler, man. He's here to set the record straight. Mr. 19-0 with 9 knockouts.
Ooh.
Coming to you from, he now is in Las Vegas, Nevada training. Coming to you from Peterborough is where he was born and raised, I guess. Born and raised from Peterborough. I can't wait. This is going to be great, man. He's going to set people straight, man. Let people know that Canada has fighters and we are on world-class stage and we are contenders for world titles, man. And he's here to set them. He's here to set it straight, man, and talk us right through it. Tell us everything that's going on in the boxing world. And I can't wait, man. We're super excited to have him here, and I'm glad that he's here. So let's get him in, Graham. So we're gonna knock you out.
All right.
Cody.
There we go.
Man. Thank you, Cody, for coming, man. Thanks for taking out the time.
Yes, sir.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, guys. I love to be back with my fellow Canadians.
Definitely.
Lonely down here, man. It's lonely.
Yes. It must be in Vegas. It must be lonely in Vegas for sure.
It's lonely, but it's hot and sunny.
Oh, yo, I'm jealous, man.
Nice.
I'm jealous. It's cold and rainy here, man.
Yeah, I don't mind being lonely.
Helps you stay focused, right? Helps you stay focused.
Exactly. And then if I
That's
get too lonely, I got the strip about 5 minutes down the street there. I know.
There you go.
I can go find whatever I need to find.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. All right, so yeah, let's just jump into it, man. We're gonna let the audience know. We're just, we're gonna tell your story, man. What age did you start boxing?
Yeah, so I actually started kickboxing first. At 14 years old. When growing up, super small town just outside of Peterborough, even smaller than Peterborough, a little farm country called Duro. And so, I was born with just hockey skates on my feet. That's what everyone did, straight from the farm to the ice rink. And but I was no good hockey player. I had no confidence, no athleticism at all. I had little man boobs. And I just remember, like, I felt sorry for myself all the time. I was just like, I was always the kid in the corner trying not to have any attention on them. And I think my parents noticed that, and that's what made them put me into kickboxing. My dad's like, you need to get in shape for hockey. When really, it's kind of, you need to toughen up a little bit, I believe. So they put me into kickboxing, and after a couple months, I started gaining confidence, and I was like, shoot, maybe I'm going to give this a try. Hockey wasn't for me. Maybe this is something I can handle. And of course, with zero confidence, I go into my very first fight, and it happens to be a co-ed karate / kickboxing tournament. And my very first fight is against a female.
Oh my God.
And that bell rings, she comes out, picks up her foot, and boom, boom, boom across my face, and it was over. So now you have a kid who's embarrassed, who has no self-esteem, no confidence, and he's got to go back to school and tell everyone, after pumping himself up, that he's this fighter, that he got his ass kicked by a girl. So that kind of really, really hit the ego very hard. It hit the heart very hard. Yeah. And from that moment on, it actually created this monster that I made a promise to myself, no matter what, I'm going to make sure that people accept me, people praise me, and people understand that I can be one of the best at whatever I decide to do. And so I decided right then, I'm going to dedicate my whole life to this. It doesn't matter what it costs. I know I don't even have that great of resources back where I'm from, but I'm going to do it. And so I remember when I made that decision, I started living at my grandma's house, which was in Peterborough, because it was closer to the gym. So I'd wake up at 5 a.m, go down to the fitness center, go train myself, go back to my grandma's, get dropped off at school. My mom would even come and sign me out of school some days because, I'd be sitting in class like, I can't do this. I'm going to be a fighter, come sign me out. She'd drop me back off at the gym. I'd go run. Then she'd drop me back off at school, finish the day. Then she'd pick me up. And then we would drive an hour to Lindsay because that was the nearest boxing gym at the time. There wasn't even one in Peterborough. And then after that, we started going to Oshawa, Ajax, Toronto, anywhere we could. To get the work because Peterborough, there just really wasn't anything there. I started doing okay in the amateurs, really just kind of training myself. I had some coaches, but I knew that I didn't have the resources to be the best. We don't even have where can you go and get good sparring?
Right.
It's far few in between. So in high school, I made a decision to myself that the day I graduate, I'm going to dedicate my life to this, and I'm going to move wherever I need to be. I'm going to put myself in the best possible position to be successful in the sport that I'm going for, and that's the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas.
Right.
So I booked a one-way flight here when I was 18.
Wow.
Lasted about 6 months. 6 months of me getting my face kicked in. Think about it. I'm a kid coming with a 50-50 record from Peterborough, Ontario, thinking that you can just jump in with the best in the world.
Wow.
No support system, no coaches down here, just me all by myself living in someone's room. And after about 6 months of picking up the phone, crying to my mom every day, I caved, and I'm like, F this, I'm going back home. Now I'm going back once again to everybody, not get my ass kicked by a girl, but Cody, you left everyone. You said you were going to go be this professional fighter. Now here you are at the bar with me getting drunk. What happened? Right. So that really, really hit my ego once again. It hit my heart. It's like, God damn it. You just let yourself down again, Cody. So that took about maybe a year and a half spill of me really getting down low. I knew I'd be a fighter, though. I knew I wasn't getting a job because once I sign up for this 9-to-5 job, I can't get out of it. Right. Not the majority, right? It's hard to leave something once you get a routine going. Right. So, I borrow money just so I could go to the bar on the weekends, and then during the week I would just, lay around. And then one day I met a girl at the bar actually, and we started hanging out. A couple weeks later, she's like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, we have fun on the weekends, and then you just sit on the couch all day. Like, are you doing something with your life, or what's going on? In high school, you were this fighter, and you were pretty good. Maybe you should start that again." So I was like, shoot, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. So I started training again, and then I was like, shoot, if you're serious about this, let's do it. So we gave ourselves about a 6-month window. I went and got a job. I started working for Holiday Ford to save up money. She started working to save up money for about 6 to 8 months. And then we both booked one-way tickets. We said we're going to give ourselves a decade to make this goal. Because if, there's going to be ups and downs. Right. So let's be realistic. And we're in this for the long haul. So from 21 to 31, I'm not going to do nothing but eat, sleep, breathe boxing. Right. I've missed weddings. I've missed best friends' funerals. I've missed nieces and nephew being born. I've missed so much stuff. Right. And but look at what happened. I put myself in the boxing mecca, and just being here for a little bit, I had zero skill, but I came with that Canadian tenacity of willpower and determination that we get from being placed in a position where we don't have resources, but you just have to make it happen. Right. So that's what I was doing. That's where I grew up from. When the bell rings, I start working in my garage until the bell stops. Right. And I brought that with me here with no skill, but the guys couldn't keep me off them, So I started earning this reputation of having all this heart and desire. And I taught my coach something. When I first came down here, he wasn't even going to train me. I showed up at his doorstep, and he's like, you know what? He told my manager at the time, if you got money, invest in this kid. Don't invest anymore. He doesn't have anything to do. Anything good. I work with world champions, and this kid, he's just on the bag looking ridiculous. So about 3 months later, though, of me being the first one to the gym every day and the last one to leave, and zero complaining, doing whatever my coach would say. He's like, shoot, maybe I can work with this, because he keeps being able to outwork all these guys with all this skill once their gas goes, and he's beating these people with all this talent. And then so Ibn really started to show me boxing, and I started to create a little name for myself. And then Floyd hired me when I was 3-0. Well, actually, before that, I got hired I was sparring in Top Rank, and I had a great sparring session with this Brazilian Olympic guy. He's a 160-pounder. I forget his name, but right there on the spot, I got a meeting the next day at Top Rank. They signed me a 5-year deal, and
nice.
that's
From a
not
sparring
too heard
session. One
sparring session. So that's not too heard of, especially guys from Canada. I was only down here with no visa, right? I had to keep going back and forth. So now I got a 5-year visa. I'm good. I'm set. And after the first 2 fights, everything was going smooth, but they tried to kind of throw me in there with guys that I think my 3rd fight, they were trying to get me a guy who was 7-0 in California, his hometown. And Ibn's like, Cody, same boxing story here. You're just going to get thrown into the wolves. He goes, I believe you can be a world champion, but look, you've really only been training for a year. Your training that you were doing back home in the garage by yourself, and the community clubs isn't really world-class training. So I believe with your determination, desire, with time, I can make you a world champion. So I left Top Rank after that. And everyone was like, what are you doing? You're crazy. But I put all my faith in my coach, and what he could do. And then, so we went and self-managed, self-promoted, and had a couple more fights. And then I've heard of Tyler Buxton was having a show in Canada, and I heard I heard about that. So I'm like, shoot, we were in California, fight just fell through. Opponent didn't make weight or medical or something. So I seen that pop up, and we called Tyler right there. We're like, yo, can we get on? And he's like, yeah, but we need this. I was like, I'll make that happen. Next thing you know, we're fighting in Canada 3 weeks later, and I got like 300 people driving 2 hours to come watch a 4-round fight. I'm
Nice.
like, dude, I maybe I got some good support system back in Canada. Definitely. And then I got hired by Floyd for his Manny Pacquiao fight, and that kind of blew things up a little bit. More people started to follow me, and then that really gave us the idea, what Floyd's doing with his own promotion. I'm like, shoot, why don't we go and do that back in Canada and start creating a platform for other fighters just like you, Cody, that need a place to perform without signing into these contracts that lock a fighter in with a promoter that only has limited shows per year,
and don't have your best interests at heart all the time.
Correct. So that's where we're like, you know what, we can keep building you, and we can go and help other people. So I started promoting shows from Vegas with just this cell phone, a whole nother country away. And it got to the point where I think it was my 4th or 5th show. I got Dana White involved, and we did a deal. He threw it on Fight Pass. So everything.
But wait. You can't just skip over that, Dana White. Like, how did that connection come about? How did you get hooked up with him?
So when I was 16 years old, my first time in Vegas down here for a UFC fight, me and my dad on vacation, Christmas gift. The World MMA Awards were going on at the time, and this was when The Ultimate Fighter was just coming out. MMA was just blowing up, and so we went, and I snuck in down past the security guards and everything, and I'm like, shit, there's Chuck, there's Tito, whoa, Dana, there's Dana. So I went up to him and I pitched him an idea that, this is cool and everything you're doing with the fighters, but what about people like me? What about the kids coming up? Well, let's get an Ultimate Fighter for kids under 18, amateurs. And he laughed at me and said, come back when you're older. So, living in Vegas, I got connections and stuff now. So literally a decade later, I come back to him as a 17-0 undefeated fighter with my own successful promotional company. Right. And he's just kind of like, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to be getting into boxing next year. So why not? This is kind of a great fit. Things didn't really work out with him in boxing, as you've seen, once he did dip his toes in. But it still got me an amazing opportunity and my city to be showcased across 140 countries around the world and show that, small town people can do big world-class things.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
And Canadians can do big class things too, man.
Yes. And just like that, that was such a good manifestation. I remember when I was younger, I said I would work with you. I said that to his face. A decade later, there I am. I remember I was 16 years old, staying up till 2 a.m. watching videos of Floyd and Roger doing pads, and I was saying I'm going to be right there. A decade later, he calls me, and I'm helping him out for the Manny Pacquiao fight. We got freaking Mariah Carey sitting in the corner.
And whoa. Okay, you can't just skip over that either. There's not too many boxers. There's not too many boxers. Yeah, right? There's not too many boxers that can say they shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather. So
I'm not done with the manifestations.
Wow.
Then my dad bought me the whole Rocky movie series as a kid.
Yeah.
And a decade later, a picture of me is blown up in the last and final Creed movie.
Oh, really?
Right in the manager's office, there's a huge picture of me right there that says Crippler.
No, I'm going back to watch this. I'm going to go back and watch this.
Yes, it's when he leaves. I think he leaves. Does he leave Philly and go to California to train with his dad's old trainer?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So and in the manager's office, there's a big black and white picture of me.
The Crippler.
Don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Yo, honestly, somebody's a fan. That's what it is.
My buddy Stitch Duran, I asked him because he's in all the movie sets, and he's like, "Bro, honestly, it's just one of a million. They just would have went and grabbed it."
Oh wow! So, and for you to be so lucky for the one to be up on there, man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, sorry guys, I'm just plugging my phone in here so it doesn't die on you.
Yeah, no worries. Cody, what kind of goals you want to accomplish? Like short-term goals in the next, like, say, 6 months to a year. What's
short-term goals?
Yeah.
Is a world title.
Yeah.
That's been pushed back now for a while. I thought it would have happened last year. It didn't happen. COVID and everything. Then I thought it would happen this year. But it just hasn't happened yet. We've seen what happened. I popped a positive PCR test or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And then it turned out it was a rigged fight.
Yeah.
And the WBA now had to go and restructure all their interim titles and strip everybody of them.
Exactly.
So really, I kind of dodged a bullet on that. Always guided, always protected. I'm happy with that. And now, we've since I signed with PBC, we've been offered Keith Thurman, who else? Broner. We've been offered all these big names that we've said yes to every single one, and it just hasn't.
They hear about your name. Your name gets around the gyms.
Well, that's the thing. So because people have seen me fight, and I don't have any crazy knockout power. Sometimes I haven't got the guys out of there when I should have. And I just haven't had some great performances. But people forget that what you see in that tiny little time frame isn't the whole entire package.
Right.
I'm down here, and I've been hired by 26 world champions now to help get them ready for fights. And I've went very, very long and far with them, and a lot of people know what's going on when people get tired and all of a sudden they suffocate and they can't finish the rounds. Word gets around. I just got a call today to go box Sean Porter next week to help him out with Crawford. So everybody knows. But that's the thing, because I haven't been up there with big backing or funds. No one outside the boxing industry really knows who I am.
Exactly.
But the core fighters know who I am in the fight game. All you got to do is call Vegas, and everybody knows who Cody Crowley is.
Yeah.
Quick question about specifically about the few times you sparred with Floyd. Again, there's not too many boxers can say they shared the ring with Floyd. So what can you say you learned, especially for any up and coming boxers that are watching this right now, inspired by your story? how, what can you say you learned from sharing the ring with, one of the greatest ever?
Well, yeah, actually, so Floyd, when I boxed him the very first time, it was actually I had my very first out of body experience during that time. It was only about, of course, you know how the sparrings, sometimes there's rounds, sometimes there's no rounds. So
the doghouse, right? The doghouse is what they call it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, where you're at. And of course, it started off. Once again, the Canadian relentless tenacity and willpower of never giving up.
That's Canadian, man.
We got a call because everyone knows who Ibn is in Vegas, my coach, and they always know he has fantastic fighters. So anytime Floyd fights, his phone's always ringing, and he's like, "Yes, I got a great kid here, matches up perfectly. We'll bring him down." And Ibn got tied up. He was busy doing something, so I just showed up all by myself. And I showed up at the front door, and Boza, the sparring manager, is like, whoa, back up. You don't fit it. You said you were 147 pounds. You look about 165, 170. You're supposed to be 5'6", and you have to be 5'10". It's not going to work. But I didn't say nothing. I walked in, I sat down there, and I showed up every single day for 2 weeks. And I think it was the end of the third week where just randomly, after everyone was waiting there for like 3 hours, word around the gym was that Floyd was in a bad mood. Something happened. He's coming in to kill somebody. And then he comes in through the door and someone says, "Yo, Canada, you're up." Like,
"Yo, Canada, you're up."
Yeah, they don't even know my name, right? They just see the red and white boxing gear. And so now I get told you're up. And my whole entire life starts flashing in front of my face, right? I'm like, what am I doing? I'm from Peterborough. I'm here in the ring against Floyd Mayweather. My boxing coach wasn't even there at the time. I had my friend who's a chef with me doing up my gloves, and we're looking across the ring, and I'm like, we got this, right? And we both look across, and there's Floyd Jr., Floyd Sr. across the corner against me and my 60-year-old chef friend.
Wow.
We went in there, and after about 5 or 6 minutes, of course, it's hard to tell, there's where you're at, right?
Yeah.
And so probably about 5 or 6 minutes, and I was totally gassed. All the adrenaline. I went in there, I shot my load, and I couldn't even hold my hands up. And all of a sudden time froze, and I came outside of my body, and I was like hovering up in the corner, and I seen everything. I seen Floyd, I seen me, and I seen about 300 people surrounding the ring, just banging on it, just screaming at me, "You're going to die. White boys get knocked out. All boo," all this stuff. And in my mind, it felt like time froze for 5 minutes. It was probably only about 5 seconds, but I ran through my whole life. Like, what are you doing? You already got kicked in the face by a girl and lost. You already went to Vegas and you got your face punched in. You called your mom and you went back home. Yeah. Now you're in the ring here, and it's only you're into a couple rounds, and you're gonna quit. If you quit right now, you're gonna quit at every single thing you do in life.
Right.
Or you're going to get up and you will keep fighting until the day you die. And I got up, and 38 minutes later, he taps me on the shoulder and says, "Good job," and rolls out of the ring when Floyd's done. So
38 minutes later, he
said. I remember those times because that was a lot of pain endured.
Oh, definitely.
And because, once again, that's something I was relying on earlier in my career. When I don't have the technique or the God-given natural talent, what I do have is determination and willpower that I can suffer more than you. There's nothing you can do that will make me back down. I will keep coming. I can endure more pain than you.
Oh, definitely. I've heard quotes saying that watching you fight is literally like watching somebody turn a switch on, and it's just go. And that's you. That's how you've been described. It's like in that Rocky movie, Over the Top, where when Sylvester Stallone he plays the arm wrestler, and he turns the hat backwards. That's what people say that you fight like, is that it's literally like turning on a switch and letting you loose and just you wreak havoc.
I try. Yeah, that's really all I do.
I
And
love it.
It worked out great.
Yeah.
And so much that Floyd used me as the main chief sparring partner for that fight. And then when he fought Connor, he called me again and used me for that as well. And I remember there was times it's hard being a sparring partner and still for somebody of that caliber, because every single day you're on call 24 hours.
Right.
So you can get a call. For the Conor McGregor fight, the earliest I got called was 10 p.m. We were in the gym pretty much every night at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So I'm trying to get ready for my own fight and train, but then at the same time, I have to make sure that if I get called at any moment, I can go and perform. But so I remember one week he didn't spar at all. And Ibn's like, yo, we got to fight in 2 weeks. Like, okay, yeah, I know you need the money. This is good experience, but maybe we should just dip out and do our own thing because you need to be ready for your fight. So this was a Saturday at like noon. He's like, all right, Floyd's done for the week. I'm going to dog you out right now because we got to start working and getting in shape. You just had the whole week off. Right. So he killed me for about 3 hours in the gym. I get home, grab my girl. We go to a smoothie shop. I place my order. And then the phone rings off. Be at the gym in 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then so I go. I can't even lift my arms, and I go in the ring and box Floyd 12 rounds.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So getting put when you ask the question, what did you learn about the Mayweather experience?
Yeah,
I learned that no matter what situation you're in, no matter how your body physically feels or mentally feels, you can learn how to adapt and become the eye of the storm and manage your own energy levels. Okay. So that's what I learned. That
the mental toughness is what you got.
Yes, it doesn't matter if I have zero energy or not. I can get in the ring and I can box 12 rounds because I'm going to use my gas accordingly, and I'm going to put my foot on and off the gas on calculated decisions, and I'm going to work your gas pedal at the same time to even out my gas pedal. So that's basically what he taught me, is that there's no limitations, only the limitations that you put on yourself.
That's some honest to God truth right there, man.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And then I've been in so many situations now, too, just because people know who I am. Like I remember one day, Ibn called me. I'm at the gym running. I'm like 8 miles deep, and Devin Haney's dad's on the phone. Yo, could we please get some work with Cody? I'm 8 miles deep, and I get off the treadmill, I hit stop, and I drive over to the gym and still give you work until you stop. You know, and I've done that with multiple people. I remember the one day at the gym, I just finished 5 miles, and Ibn's brother Hasim Rahman, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, said, Cody, you can't run worth shit. And I'm looking at him like, what? He's like, man, those 5 pussy miles. When I was champ, I'd run nonstop. So I'm like, Brock, I'll beat you. Let's go. What do you want to do? I just finished 5 miles. And he's like, all right, let's run out the gym all the way down Sahara to Las Vegas Boulevard, all the way down Las Vegas Boulevard to Tropicana, all the way up to Fort Apache and back to the gym. And I calculated in my mind. I'm like, yo, that's over 20 miles. And Ibn's like, yo, you can't turn down competition from the champ. No. So I'm like, all right. I had no headphones, no cell phone, nothing. I just started running. Little did I know he would stop after like 2 miles, and I just kept going. And I show up back at the gym about 4.5 hours later after running a marathon. Nobody's at the gym.
Nobody's at the gym.
Everyone's like, yo, you're fucking wild. Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
And I look at Ibn and I said, yo, you said you never turned down a challenge.
So he stopped after 2 miles, and then you ran the rest and got back.
He got picked up somewhere. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 or 4 miles, but he picked up the phone and Sim got picked up. But since then, I earned his respect that day.
Definitely.
You know?
You had to earn everybody's respect after that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I really, when I came down here, I realized that, we don't have much recognition in Canada, and people have this whole kind of vibe towards us that, we don't have this God-given natural talent that a lot of these American and Mexican fighters are born with, and the resources. Right. So anytime an obstacle would present itself like that was an opportunity to show me that you don't have to be born with God-given talent. All you need is 2 fists and a beating heart and a will to win.
Fighting solves everything.
Yes.
Cedric, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. This guy was VP of competition in Ontario for 2 years, and this guy trains young kids who are on their verge and on their way up into Olympic stardom, I guess. Junior Olympic kids. He's got 2 that he's training right now that we need to watch out for. But he knows all about this Canadian scene too, because he's based out of Windsor, and it's true, man. We just don't have we have this like this name about us, and it's like nobody believes that we have the talent or the people that can be on the world stage in boxing, and it sucks. Because you know what, we have people like you. Definitely.
Exactly. I was about to say, yeah, exactly.
We have you, man, and you're out there. You're on world. You're on the world stage. You're about to fight for a title event. In the next, couple of months, I guess it is. And you've made a name for yourself, and you've definitely put Canada on the map down there in Vegas, man. They know who the hell we are now.
Yes.
When is the next scheduled fight?
So actually, I just signed a contract today. Can't give out any details, but I'll fight in December 11th.
Okay.
In California.
Sick.
All right.
We'll definitely be watching.
Right.
We're gonna want you back. We're gonna want you back on the show after that one for sure.
Of course. You know what? Like, I don't know what the thing is about Canadian boxing too, because it's like the whole world hates on us for some reason.
Yeah.
But yet we continue to all hate on each other at the same time instead of helping each other.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things I was trying to do with the promotional company. Come back, let everybody work together. And
I'm trying to do the same thing too. I'm trying to do the same thing too. So we'll definitely work together, Cody.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to fight some of the Canadian fighters as well. Because I felt like that's a way that we can go and gain more fans. You need big fights. I was always trying to fight Brandon Cook. I think I called Phil out one time. I was trying to fight him too. I was trying to fight Castillo Clayton. He's turned that fight down 2 times now from our promoter.
Really, eh?
Hey, everyone talks all that shit about me and I can't fight.
But yet you put the word out there and nobody wants to take the offer.
Yeah. So I don't know really what to say about that.
I think a lot of people are just hiding behind their managers.
Fighters fight at the end of the day.
Yo, man, that's what it's about. That's why politics in boxing really pisses me off, and that's why I believe that a lot of these divisions are like, they're being clogged up because we're not getting the fights that we want. We're not getting to see champions fight champions. We're not getting to see contenders fight contenders and have everybody start moving their way up through these divisions. So then we get all these stale champions who just sit there, who've got no ring time, who got ring rust, and then they go in and they look like AJ. AJ goes in, he looks like you got a world champions holding multiple belts, and then he looks like a sparring partner because he's been waiting a year and a half to get in the ring. It's ridiculous. Yep. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay busy to stay sharp. Got to stay busy to stay sharp.
Yep.
Do you find it hard to stay focused down in Vegas because you are in the city of sin?
You know what? Actually, so a lot. Remember when I said I moved here?
Yeah.
And I basically cut everything off. I cut family, friends. Nothing was getting in the way. And that actually started getting me very, very sick after about a decade of training twice a day, of all this dedication. And all of a sudden I started getting autoimmune diseases. All of a sudden, my body would just quit. My organs started to fail. No one knew this. The fight when Dana White, when I did the UFC Fight Pass, that morning, or no, that afternoon, my mom, you know, she came to my room to give me a hug, kiss, good luck, wish you good luck. And I'm in bed crying because I don't even have energy to get out of the bed to stand up to give my mom a hug. And I got to go fight a 12-round championship fight in 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And this was from health issues that no doctor could tell me what was wrong with me. And me and Ibn, we had about 7 fights like that. That's why you haven't seen me knock anybody out either, because I've literally been like strapped up to IVs just to get me to stand before I go in the ring because of all these physical issues. And then in 2017 of November, 2019, sorry, finally, I got told I had fatty liver disease, and then all my other organs were starting to shut down. And that was a huge wake-up call where I was like, something's got to change. I was so depressed. I couldn't leave bed. And then one day I started getting into meditation, and I started getting into breath work. And then I started seeing things differently, and I started seeing what I was putting in my body, training twice a day. Every morning I'd wake up, 2 cups of coffee, 2 or 3 scoops of pre-workout, go train, come home, eat, have a nap, more pills, more pre-workouts, more coffee, go train again, come home. I was putting all these artificial sweeteners, even everything in the fitness industry, you know, that's labeled as healthy has, you know, all these artificial dyes and sweeteners that's proven to give degenerative brain disease, that's frying the nervous system and everything. Right. Then I started to see the patterns in my life as well, why I was doing the things I was doing, why I even got into boxing, why I became this crazy guy that nobody could keep up with. And that was because I was running from the fear of what, you know, things that happened to me as childhood traumas, that happened to me. And I realized, shoot, I don't even like boxing. I don't even like fighting. Why was I doing this? I'm only doing it for recognition from other people, to prove that I'm good enough, because I have no self-worth and value for myself. And then all of a sudden my life started to get better. It started to change. Then I signed with PBC. My health started to turn right around. I started healing, curing all my health conditions just through the meditation, through the breath work, going on a plant-based diet. I just started changing everything, and my boxing even got better. My level of consciousness got better. My understanding of what I was doing in the ring got better. And so I'm just excited now to really be able to go and show who Cody Crowley is, that he's now a healthier, more complete version of himself, not fighting for the ego. Because now I don't have to fight to prove anything to anybody else. I don't have to prove that I'm some kid from Canada that can go and do big time things, because really that doesn't mean anything. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'm going to set a goal, and I'm going to continue to do this goal for me. When I had this little awakening journey, I didn't even think I would fight again. But because I realized, you know, even fighting, that's just an illusion. Because my hand gets raised, that means I'm better than the person beside me. No, not at all. But that's what we think, to the point where, you know, when that egoic mind comes into play, that's why you have family members, you know, stabbing each other in the back, or, you know, stabbing a best friend in the back over money.
Yeah.
You know, it's these mind states that just aren't right. So now that I've healed myself, and I've got healthy, I realized that I got to finish this dream out. I set a decade long where I wasn't going to be distracted. I was going to train, eat, sleep, breathe boxing until I became a world champion. But now that I see boxing isn't everything to me, now distractions come in a little bit more. You know? But it makes me respect the work that I put in even that much more. Yeah, I'm in a good place in life right now. I'm happy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. It's always good to find out that, you know, somebody's in a good place, man, because there are a lot of people out there that aren't. And, you know, the boxing world can really mess people up, man.
Well, and we're literally bred to do that. Every single day we are pushing our bodies mentally and physically to the limit to build this armor, right? This armor where we don't show emotion. We don't tell people how we truly feel. We don't tell someone that something's bothering us or eating us up inside.
Right.
So yeah, it's nice to open up and show people a different side of me as well. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Truth be told, I don't want to hurt nobody.
No,
but
no.
when I get
but
in that ring,
you have to because it's your job. That's the only reason, right? You have to because it's your job.
Exactly. And basically now it's me versus me in there. This person is a mirror of me. They're a reflection of me. I'm not fighting this person. I'm fighting myself. And that's how I'm approaching things nowadays.
That's
the best. It's the sport so much. You see the guys at the weigh-ins. F you, F your mom, blah blah blah. You're trash. Da da da. Me, I'm like, I can't wait next fight. If I'm fighting Broner or something, he's talking all this trash. I'm like, bro, please, thank you for being here. Have the greatest fucking sleep tonight and show up the best Adrian Broner you can tomorrow, so you can make me the best Cody Crowley tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
exactly.
Man.
This is we need each other to pull out the best of each other. These are two gladiators that agree to go to battle together. Why are we sitting bringing each other down?
Exactly, man. It should be a boost. Hey, you go home, you get rested. I'll go home, I'll get rested. I'm gonna come and knock you out tomorrow, and I hope you're gonna try and knock me out tomorrow. And that's what it should be, man. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and you know what? You'd see a lot more fights, unlike today, where the egoic structure kind of has a hold of everybody. You have top 10 fighters at welterweight not even fighting each other. Could you imagine if there was only one world title and you had Pacquiao, you had Floyd, you had Ennis, you had Crawford, you had Sean, you had me, you had multiple Ugas, you have all these guys just fighting each other for a number one contender spot to fight for a title. But instead, we sit around here saying, nah, I'm better than this guy. Nah, man, I need to get more money.
Exactly.
No. It's not about fighting anymore. It's turned into basically a business on how can I be an entertainer and talk my way to the biggest payday.
Exactly. It's sad. It's very, very sad. I wish we would see more fights, man, because that's what it's about, man. It's about boxing. It's about fighting. Like, that's what you guys are doing. That's your profession. Sitting around and talking about this and talking about that and asking for more money. It's just, that's the politics of the game, and it's been there for a long time.
You're representing in a good way, and I'm telling you, the best thing is you're Canadian too. So
that's it. See that?
Yep. And you know what? People, as soon as they hear you're from Canada, they automatically write you off.
Yeah, man. This got to stop. To all the people watching out there, man, listen, we're telling you right now, Canada is on the map, and we're world contenders, man. Believe us. Believe us.
Yeah, I remember because we like to. Ibn likes to treat his fighters like family. So anytime he travels, he tries to bring his fighters with him, and we get work in wherever we can.
Right.
So little white kid wearing glasses, pulling up into gyms in Baltimore City, DC, and asking, hey, can I get some work from these guys? And they kind of look at you like, whatever, okay, let me bust you up real quick. And then you're in there stopping these guys or round robbing them, or busting them up. And then you have people like Gervonta Davis talking trash to you while you're busting up his friends trying to come in the ring. There's just a lot of it's nice being underestimated. Let's put it that way.
Definitely. It must be. That would be great. To be underestimated and just come in and then do what you do best is, it shuts them up, man. And it lets them know that, Canada's on the map, man.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Man. I love it.
So yeah, I'm really excited to just get back in the ring and get some big fights.
Honestly,
I want to fight anybody, even whether they're from Canada, whether they're from here. I just want to fight the best guys.
Yeah. No excuses, man. That's it, right? Just get in there and fight the best to be the best. And
yes, sir.
Obviously, you're on your way to becoming the best. You're on your way to that world championship. And here at Talkin Fight and Knuckle Up, man, we're behind you 100%. We're definitely going to be following the rest of the climb to that belt. when you
Yes,
get it
we
out
are.
of the East, man. We won't keep you too much longer, Cody. I know it's been a great time. Time flew by. This interview was wonderful. Much respect, much love. We're definitely part of the Cody fan club, man, for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely get you back on in the future. Just stick around for a minute after I sign off, and yeah, man, we'll have a quick chat.
Perfect. Any more questions?
You know what? Here, one more. Cedric, drop a question. I know you got one.
Just maybe just give a quick step by step, like what was your best training camp for one of your fights? Just to give behind the scenes as far as I already know that we already know your mental preparation, but like physically, how many miles did you run? How much did you spar? What time did you when did you cut things off to taper off for the fight? What was your best training camp, and take us through that?
To be honest, I really haven't had a great training camp yet. Due to when you're funding yourself,
Yes,
when you can't get sparring and you have to pay ridiculous amounts for sparring. And that's another thing. When you get a name, people don't really want to work with you.
Yeah, that's
and you think you're in the fight capital of the world and you have a hard time getting sparring. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
So realistically, we just take whatever we can get. But shoot, I know, like I said, what Floyd taught me about putting those limitations on yourself. That's what we always strive for. I know Ibn sometimes will have me go run 8 miles before we come into the gym, and then he'll have 4 different sparring partners there waiting for me, saying you're boxing 12 rounds. Well, how am I going to box 12 rounds after I just totally killed myself?
Yeah, just ran.
So we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations and we get very, very comfortable. That's when that's why I like to use the ice baths as a major tool. When I started getting into meditation and breath work, I got the music on, I got some incense burning, I got some good smells coming. I'm in a very comfortable environment to get a high level awareness on my body. But what happens when you are in a fight? Your body is in a very, very uncomfortable position. So I like to use the ice baths. We're supposed to get hypothermia, right? In the cold. You're in the cold too long. You fall through the ice. So I put my body in the most uncomfortable position, and I have to make myself comfortable. Now I fall asleep in the ice baths. Because I've learned that all limitations are created by the mind. We can we're told we're supposed to get hypothermia and die, but we can actually go into and access deeper parts of our brains and contact our immune system at will and calculate different hormones and upregulate or downregulate our body temperature. Now, if we can do all this stuff, imagine being able to do that in the ring at the same time. Imagine going back to the corner, and now I'm able to go, because we're a 3D physical body, but we're also, an energetic body. Science has proven this now. Imagine going back to that corner and getting in such awareness that you can go into your legs now and clear out all the lactic acid, go to your heart rate, have full control over calming your heart rate down to a 35 beat per, beat per minute while you're in a dogfight. So it's just mastering that mind. That's what all martial artists are. Bruce Lee, stuff like that. They are just straight up masters of their bodies. They're masters of awareness. So that's really what I'm trying to focus on and bring that into the boxing game.
You know what? It looks like it's working for you, man. You're looking healthy. You're looking great. I can't wait to see you back in the ring, man. I'm stoked. I know you can't release any details about it, but we're definitely going to be watching it for sure.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man. One more question. Do you want to be loved or do you want to be feared?
I want to be loved. I want to be loved.
Love it.
I'm the type of person. I'm a nurturer. I'm not a fighter.
Right.
If someone needs someone to talk to, if someone's going through a bad time, if someone just wants some advice, they can always reach out to me. If someone needs a hand, I give them the shirt off my back. Doesn't matter where you're from, what skin color you are, what language you speak. I'm here for everybody.
Yo, words of a champion, man. That's words of a champion right there.
Exactly. You're an inspiration, man. My son's right here listening to you. You're a great inspiration to the next generation
brother.
coming up.
Definitely.
So
Thank
keep
you.
doing your
Appreciate
thing,
it.
man. Keep
Definitely.
doing your thing.
So, Knuckle Up fans, thanks for tuning in to this wonderful interview with the Crippler, Cody Crowley, coming through, the Canadian. Much love, much respect. Thanks for taking out the time to come and speak with us, man. We're definitely going to have you back in the studio. We'll let you get back to your training because I know you're down for the training. I know you love the gym lots. So, yes, that being said, thank you again, Cedric. Thanks for joining me for this wonderful interview. You know what it is,
Sounds
guys.
good. Thanks, guys.
Knuckle Up. We'll
Stay
talk to you
warm up
soon.
there, right?
Yeah.